Okay, so where did you find any of your data that you presented in your negation?
I found most of my data on an article called The Social and Economic Benefits of Public Education. It is written by Dana Micha, and she's a professor of education at Pennsylvania State University. Most of it was on that article.
Okay, why do you see, why do you believe that school shouldn't be a choice? Like, why do you see school as a primary source of education?
I see school as a primary source of education because it is said to pass on to each child the information and skills they will use in their lifetime, like public schooling. That's what it said
But
about
aren't
public
there
schooling.
other ways that student, like children or just students in general, can learn without going through school?
Yeah, just the article I read was all about public education. So
Mhm.
it's all like the benefits of public education. So.
Okay, so you also asserted that the federal government has some obligation to regulate education in order to allow fair education to all students, and that's why it should remain a part of our educational system. But why isn't that happening now? Because there's not equal schooling going on in all areas, so why
Yeah.
should it remain?
Um, well, I think it's because there isn't a huge focus on education, and it just stated that the federal government should have some input, like in the curriculum and stuff. So.
Okay. Um, do you really think that it's the long hours that like Chinese students put in, or is it the work ethics that they're forced to basically take on that kind of influence how well they do?
Um, I think the long hours do play a part, but it's also the fact that they believe everyone can succeed in their education system there, so they always have like an equal system there. So,
Okay, so
and it's of course it's from their how they're raised, like you were saying. Yeah.
okay, so it's not necessarily all like attributed to the amount of hours that they put in.
No, no.
Okay. So, you also said that homeschoolers have to go out of their way in order to interact with their peers, but can it also be argued that students who are attending public school have to go out of their way? I mean, they have to go to school 5 days a week and like sit through like almost 8 hours of schooling.
Right. Yeah, of course they have to go out of their way as well, but the hours spent in public schools, they are around their peers. And homeschooled students are mostly around adults during the day, while others are in school.
Okay.
So that's what I read. Like, a mom was saying how her kids would have to go to, like, they would go with her to the grocery store, but they'd be interacting with adults.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you also said that schools train students' intellectual knowledge and ability, but why do you think that students need to be trained? Shouldn't we be taught and instructed and advised and encouraged as opposed to being treated like animals?
Well, we have to be trained as well as advised and encouraged to gain the knowledge and ability.